Every journalist on the planet is looking for the same thing, a story their audience will care about. But here's the secret. It's not just about the topic, it's about timing, angle, and credibility. Once you understand how journalists actually decide what to cover, you'll know how to position your story so it cuts through the noise. Let's start with how journalists find stories. Journalists don't wake up scrolling through random emails hoping to find something interesting. They live inside a fast-moving cycle of deadlines, editor meetings, and industry news updates. They're constantly scanning for stories that connect to current trends, data, or public interest. Here are the main ways they discover stories. Number 1. News cycles and trending topics. Every newsroom works on a rhythm, daily, weekly, or monthly. Reporters look for stories tied to what's already trending or what's about to trend. If your story connects to breaking news or a broader conversation, you instantly become more relevant. For example, if your company offers a cybersecurity solution and there's a major data breach in the headlines, that's your window. Pitching something timely can multiply your chances of coverage by tenfold. Number 2. Editorial calendars. Most media outlets publish annual editorial calendars. These outline the themes, topics, and industries they'll cover each month. This is one of the biggest missed opportunities in PR because if you know what's coming up, you can prepare and pitch early. For instance, if Forbes announces they're featuring AI and the future of business in June, a pitch in May with a relevant case study positions you right where they're looking. It's not luck, it's alignment. Number 3. Reliable sources and relationships. Journalists trust people who make their jobs easier. When you give them relevant, well-researched information without trying to control the story, they remember you. That's why professionals focus on relationship building, not just pitching. They nurture long-term trust by delivering valuable insights, fast responses, and fresh data. That's the foundation AutoPR's entire strategy is built on, turning our clients into trusted expert sources journalists come back to again and again. Number 4. Search and social listening. Reporters use tools like Twitter or X, Reddit, LinkedIn, and Google Trends to spot emerging stories. They follow hashtags, monitor trending topics, and search for credible voices who can comment with expertise. That means your online presence, your LinkedIn, your thought leadership posts, your company site all contribute to how discoverable you are as a source. If a journalist Googles your name and finds strong press, recent posts, and thought leadership content, your credibility skyrockets. That's why PR and content marketing are no longer separate. They reinforce each other. Now that you know how journalists find stories, let's talk about how they choose which ones to cover. Because every day, their inbox is filled with hundreds of pitches, and 95% go straight to delete. So what makes the difference between ignored and featured? Number 1. Relevance. Your pitch has to match the journalist's beat, their area of focus. If a reporter covers healthcare innovation, don't pitch them your new fitness app. They're not looking for just any story, they're looking for stories that fit their audience and editorial focus. Number 2. Timeliness. Even a great story can flop if it's mistimed. Journalists want something now. They ask, why does this matter today? Your job is to connect your message to what's happening in the world right now. A new law, a trend, or a statistic that's driving conversation. Number 3. Data and credibility. Numbers sell stories. A journalist is far more likely to publish a pitch that includes data, case studies, or credible third-party insights. It shows you've done the work and aren't just making claims. At AutoPR, we always anchor stories with data and examples because journalists can't print opinions, they print evidence. Number 4. Strong angles. A story isn't just what happened, it's why it matters. A strong angle turns a simple update into a compelling narrative. For example, instead of pitching company launches new product, shift it to how one founder is disrupting a stagnant industry with new technology. Same story, different impact. Angles create emotional and intellectual engagement, and that's what journalists are really after. Number 5. Simplicity and clarity. Journalists skim. They don't have time for jargon or 10-paragraph backstories. Your story has to be clear in 1 or 2 sentences. If you can't explain it simply, they won't take the time to figure it out. So if journalists are scanning hundreds of pitches and choosing only a few, how do you stand out? You make their job easier. You think like an editor, not a marketer. Here's a quick mental checklist every PR professional should use before hitting send. Is it timely? Is it relevant to the journalist's beat? Is there proof or data to back it up? Is it written in simple, engaging language? And most importantly, does it serve the journalist's audience, not your ego? If you can say yes to those 5 things, you're already in the top 5% of pitches they'll read. Now here's where most people fail. They write pitches focused on themselves, their company, their success, their product. But journalists aren't there to promote your brand. They're there to serve their readers. When your story aligns with what their readers care about, everybody wins. That's why Otter PR's strategy always starts with story alignment. We look for ways to connect a client's expertise or milestones to larger narratives in their industry. Because journalists don't write about companies, they write about trends, problems, and people making an impact. When you understand how journalists find and choose stories, you start to see PR differently. It's not random luck, it's alignment. This foundation is what drives every part of professional PR. Understanding the media landscape, timing, and storytelling strategy that earns trust and attention. In the next section of this module, we'll go deeper into the fundamentals of PR, exploring earned versus paid media, coverage tiers, and the terminology that separates amateurs from professionals.